Try and guess. What do all of these things have in common? Did you guess right? Each of these things uses muscle memory. From doing the hardest algorithm on the Rubik's Cube to playing a masterpiece on the piano. Initially, they all take conscious thought to complete. But over time, after your brain and muscles memorize the motions, you hardly have to think about how to do them anymore. This is called muscle memory. But these are all complex ideas, right? So let's take it to a more basic level. If you were to play a note on the piano 100 times, you would memorize where the note is. Now try playing a short tune. Now try playing it 20 times. Surprisingly enough, without muscle memory, you would probably play a completely different tune every time you try and play the tune that you played before. My piano teacher is very particular about having me use the same fingers on the same chords each time I play a song. I have noticed that over time I can often depend on my muscle memory to play a song correctly instead of always consciously thinking of every note. Muscle memory goes down to the simplest things that you usually don't even think about on a normal day. For example, walking. Because at a young age your muscles memorize how to walk. When you watch an infant try to walk, they are really wobbly and very focused because they are going through every step in their mind every time they take a step. But when you master it, you hardly even think about it. Same kind of idea with any simple or even complex task. There are actually opposites to muscle memory. The most common one is called false muscle memory. This is where you are training your muscle to do something false or incorrect, like this. That was clearly a front flip that I did terribly, right? But I celebrated about it, so it had to be correct, right? This is an example of false muscle memory. I have trained myself to do that trick in that specific way so many times that my muscles have memorized to do it that way. The only way to reverse this is to consciously practice it the correct way, so muscle memory will also reverse correctly. This applies to gymnastics, parkour, or any type of athletics. This instructor is here to help her students do a small trick on a balance beam perfectly. Any kind of mistake will be pointed out and immediately fixed, so no student memorizes something incorrectly or performs using false muscle memory. There's also a tech version of muscle memory. Here's an example. A study was done on a woman who had lost her arm in a tragic accident. After a while, she was given a robotic arm that was connected to all of her nerves and muscles in what was remaining of her arm. After a brief moment of wearing this new arm, she was able to use her new arm just like her original arm. This was because her muscles had memorized how to use her old arm, so it wasn't any different from doing the same thing with a new arm. What we thought would be cool at the end of the fourth Star Wars now really exists. Just kidding, it was invented over 5 years ago. Muscle memories are stored in our brains. By repeating a motion the same way over and over, we can turn difficult or complex activities into subconscious and easy motions that we barely even need to think about.